So there's a light there and there's a light there. That would be my light. This would be your light, right?
Yeah.
And then this would be a fill.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So if I was to set this up, I would sit up. Go ahead and sit up.
All right. I like this.
If I was to set this up, I would be feather this towards you.
Okay.
I'd even bring it closer.
Okay.
Right there, because we don't want direct light on you, right?
Okay.
You know, stuff that you learned from me.
Yes.
Gives you more of a three-dimensional feel.
Gotcha. Love it. And all right, your move. Gosh, play. Hey, we set, man? You feel good?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
A little bit of a long trip on your end. I appreciate you coming all the way out here to the East Valley.
No worries, no worries. It's
Heck
good.
yeah. All right, man. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in to this one time. Today, we are in the presence of a great man here, man. I had a good time meeting you, man. You made me feel very comfortable at my first ever headshot session, and we got to chopping it up, man. You're a father, retired from the military, trying to get your pilot's license, and everything in between of that, man. So
Yeah.
We shared a lot of knowledge, and some might call it wisdom. I would definitely call what you have wisdom. But I felt like getting you behind the mic, man, and allowing people to see your work, or your photography pages that you put out there, man. It's very awesome and very unique. From what I've seen, I'm new to the game as well, but thanks for coming on, Kavan.
Thanks for having me, man. This is actually my first podcast.
Okay.
And hopefully I won't be wasting your time or anybody else's time.
No way, man. No way. Everybody's got something to teach us, man. We know that.
True.
Whether it's, I definitely don't want to do that, or I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
You start making your own, formulating your own beliefs, right? And the information that you accept.
Yeah.
But we're all just different individuals, man. And I think me and you are trying to promote, some positivity in the world, right. And you're a father, so I'm a father. You just met my two.
Yeah.
Little heathens, man.
No, not heathens, are good-looking children, man.
Thanks, man. So since I know you through photography, from that, what got you involved in, where we meet?
Yeah. Let me take a step back a few years. I was, stationed in Japan.
Okay.
And I was a guy who always had a camera.
I gotcha.
Everywhere we went, I had a camera, and the guys were always like, yo, no evidence.
Yeah.
We weren't doing anything bad. It was, at that age, we were all about just girls and clubs.
Of course.
And working out. So, but I always had a camera. So, you fast forward, it was a love-hate relationship. I would take photos and not know how I got it. And when the kids were born, I decided, okay, I'm going to invest in a camera. And same thing. Took some photos, beautiful photos, and I couldn't replicate it.
Yeah.
And I was mad. And this is pre-YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So when I couldn't figure it out, I'm not the kind of guy that's like, I can't figure it out, I'm gonna walk away. I get upset, and then I go deep.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went deep, I was like, oh, I actually like this. Now I understand. So it got to that point where it was, it felt very natural for me.
Yeah.
I used to go out on walks. I used photo walks and come back with nothing because I couldn't see. I didn't know how to see.
Yes.
See.
To frame it, right, I guess?
I had to develop an eye.
Yeah.
So this, all that people see now is, the good work, but it's years of failing.
Right. Well, it's almost like, you're creating a dish, or you're cooking something, right? And then you don't write down, your measurements. And you don't write down the time and the heat, and all that.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wow, that came out amazing. And then the next time you try to replicate it, you're like, what did I do?
I dash of this and dash of that. The thing is, though, just like with any chef or any cook out there, eventually you'll get to a point where you can walk in and go, these are my ingredients. Mm-hmm. Okay, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now, photography-wise. I can walk into a scenario and go, I know exactly how I'm gonna set things up. So,
and when you have a you know, your regular kitchen as well, because I feel like where we met up, it's kind of like one of your spots, right? Because there's so many angles and so many places.
Man,
yeah, you could feel that. You're like, okay, and you're looking around. You're like, and the time of day too. You know, we were in like, you know, the afternoon. So like, you know, where's the sun like sitting? And I was watching a YouTube video on a marble sculptor guy, you know, and he was mentioning, he's like, all I'm doing is capturing shadows.
That's man, that's cool. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, like that hit different. And as a photographer, and as you just set up my lighting here.
It's the same game, capturing light and shadows, man. You know, when you walk into a place and you assess, we always got to assess first, right? And I never want to be one of those guys that's like real bossy. Like I think with every photo shoot I do is a collaboration, right? It's a give and take. That's what makes it good. If I just come in and it's my ideas, at the end of it, you're looking around going, what just happened?
Yeah.
Right? But if you have your input in it, and our input is what creates something that when at the end of it, you look back and go, whoa, this is cool.
That's some leadership aspect in that. Did you? What was your ranking in the military? Was that? Did you have people under you like that? Subordinates.
I went all the way up to being a major in the Marines. And you know, from the moment you become a Marine, they're teaching you leadership.
Yeah, that's true.
From the lowest ranking guy all the way up, because you're always preparing for the next two steps.
The next ones.
So it's just, you know, it's part of what we do. It's part of the culture.
Yeah.
So, but you know, not the way we look at leadership is service leadership, right? Not I'm the leader, you have to listen to me.
Yes.
It's more of we're in this together.
Yeah, like the collaborative that you mentioned, man.
And I'm in charge, but how can I help you do your job better?
Yeah, because how do people, I mean, when you're trying to implement, you know, a new protocol, new rule, or whatever is coming down the pipe, right? And like you said, when you're collaborating, you want that input. So you want to get the other party involved. So then they take ownership in it as well.
Yes.
Like if we showed up, or you know, say in our situation where I just showed up and you were just like, okay, be here, do this, do that. No, you were like, all right, man, give me this, give me a little of that, right. And you were leaving it to me to kind of like, and I'm like, man, I don't know what I'm doing, but then here you are, man, you look great, you know.
You know.
And it feels like, okay, we collaborated. I have part ownership in this,
yes,
you know, and then now we're all more vested in what we are sharing.
Yeah,
together.
I mean that's an important piece too. In any leadership, right? I mean, you could be, I never want to be the smartest guy in the room because I'm not learning anything.
Yeah.
But if there's some smart people in there I can look to and, you know, I can add my piece because you may be 20 years old, but you just got it. And here's an opportunity for me to learn at my age. I'm almost 50.
The good, man.
I'm trying.
In that medium.
I knew that was going to come up sooner or later. But yeah, you know, I'm always looking to learn something. When you stop learning, you know, what's the point? Like, yeah, I'm good at photography, but a couple weeks ago, I still went to a workshop in Philadelphia and I learned new stuff.
Wow, heck
and it was just kind of like, all right, I'm going to go home and implement that and, you know, try some other things. And it, you know, so far, it's been working out. I'm like, all right, I add another thing, another layer.
And now is it new in the sense of because there's new technology, or is it new because, hey, this was a way of thinking that I wasn't implementing?
Yeah, it's a technique.
Yeah.
New techniques. You know, with anybody else, any professional, you start doing something and you get decent at it, you sometimes can get too comfortable. So I remind myself not to get too comfortable. So every year I will go take some kind of professional course to help me get better.
Yeah.
I may be a good photographer, but I can always be a better photographer. I may be a good business person, but I can always be a better business person. Yeah. So there's always growth. That way you're not stagnant. You know what I mean? And it's expensive, but you know, it pays out later on. So you make an investment in your education and training.
As you should with your passions.
Absolutely, man.
So you're in Japan and they're telling you not to document. No evidence. We weren't here.
No evidence.
But so you were kind of known for being the guy walking around with the camera then?
100% of the time, man. Japan, in combat, I was at, you know, a flight suit. I had a camera in my pocket. So while I wasn't necessarily doing it while I was flying, right, as soon as we got to a space where it was, you know, felt relatively safe, or we're on deck and, you know, somebody else is flying, I might pull out my camera and get something. I mean, I've got pictures from all over Iraq. It was just kind of neat, you know. And even then, I still didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I was documenting something special. You know? So that was kind of key. Yeah.
Man. So what year did you go in?
I got a Marine Corps in 1993.
Okay. So is that Desert Storm era?
Right after. I was too young during Desert Storm. They kicked me out of the recruiting office. I showed up at 16, and then they're like, no, but you can come back next year. So I did. I came back at 17. Yeah.
Man, right in.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best decision I ever made. It's worked out really well for me. You know, education wise, leadership wise, just the ability to see the world, understand in different cultures, different people. It's just given me a nice worldwide kind of experience. Yeah.
Nice. Is there some like international photographers that you look up to?
Oh man, there are a few. There are a few really, really good ones. At the top of my list, I'd probably say is Peter Lindbergh.
Okay.
He passed away in September of 2019. I don't know if I told you that story.
No.
I came here to Phoenix to see him.
Oh wow, okay.
And he died the night before.
No.
Yeah. I mean, even now when I look at his images, I'm like, wow, I still got questions.
Yeah.
How'd you do this? You know? And his approach to it is, you know, very much like mine. It doesn't want it to feel set up. He needs it to be naturally. You know, you should see this old guy walking around, talking to people, and just, you know, he just kind of works them the whole way through. I mean, even when they're walking off set, he's still taking pictures because he's just not done. He's just enjoying it.
Yeah.
They're enjoying the experience. He's enjoying the experience, and it's like, this is what it should be.
Wow.
So he was one of the greats that are on my list. And Leibowitz is on my list as well. Yeah. She's, you know, very current. I like her style of lighting for various reasons. She's usually pretty painterly style. Right. And then there's a guy named Vincent Peters. He's German.
Okay.
Photographs a lot of celebs, majority black and white.
Okay.
When you see his work, man, it's hard to look away. So those are kind of my top three. There are a couple other people, Patrick de Machalier, Herb Ritz, I mean, I could go on and on. I have all their books.
Yeah.
Guy from New York. I
wish I knew more photographers.
Rodney Smith. Rodney Smith's got a classical style that just never changed. He never shot digital. He shot film the entire time. Yeah, beautiful.
Man, I mean, when you shoot film, then you have to have like the whole room, right?
What do you mean when you said
like the room where you have like the tubs?
Oh yeah, but he's a professional. He just sends it off to his developers.
He's got other guys to do that. Yeah.
But the process is a lot of professional photographers, when we were doing film, prefer to do it themselves. Ansel Adams did it himself. Preferred to do it himself because he had all the control.
Yes. Yeah,
I mean, I've shot film. I still shoot film. I tend to stick more to black and white because I can develop it myself. Color, it's a little more tricky. Temperatures have to be exact. This guy's like 102. All the chemicals.
You're like a chemist in there.
And I just was. It took me a half a day to do a roll, and I was like, "This is not efficient." And then when you do it, if you mess it up a little bit, it's gone.
And how many hours of work is that? Like
5-6 hours gone, man.
Shoot, man.
Yeah. So when I do color, I send them off to a lab. But lately, I haven't done a whole lot because the last lab I sent it to came back with water spots on it.
Oh,
No.
Yep.
While it was kind of cool because I do like a little bit of texture, or it made it look kind of artsy. Like it just made it look retro.
Yeah.
But I need to be able to make that decision.
Yeah, you didn't ask for it.
Right, I didn't ask for it. It was a mistake, and it was a happy mistake, and I accepted it. But I haven't done color film since then.
Gotcha.
Yeah, still got it though.
And so with your digitals, I mean, you're just at this point just doing it all just because the programs are so efficient.
The program is very efficient, and yeah, I am doing it myself because I have a look.
Yeah.
Right. I've developed a look that I like, so I like to do the work myself.
Yeah.
It's the part of the process. If it wasn't digital, I'd be doing it with film. So I want to be a part of the process from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Now, when I get too busy, I may have to find somebody that has my style.
Like find an apprentice or something, right?
Yeah.
You waiting for somebody to reach out and be like, "Hey, man, I like your style."
If somebody did reach out, I'd train them.
Yeah.
I like teaching, so I would definitely train them.
Yeah, especially because you were primarily a dance photographer. Am I getting that right?
No, primarily people. I say people.
Gotcha.
So portraits, weddings, dance, theater, if the opportunity comes up. But yeah, I'm in love with people, man. I love faces.
Yeah.
I'll chase people down and just be like, hey, you look pretty unique,
Yeah. Right.
Without trying to be rude. I don't want them to think I'm being rude. You just got that face. I want to take a photo.
Yeah, a unique face, something that stands out, something that captures, and not just a pretty face.
Yeah.
You think somebody's a model. It's just they just have the cookie cutter, pretty features.
Yeah.
No, we're looking for unique.
Yeah. So on my personal work, I like a lot of the unique stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a young man that goes to my kid's school. He's albino. And I'm like, I'm gonna get you in the studio one day, man. How cool of a photo shoot that would be.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna give him my card and be like, hey, talk to your parents, But when I see, there's this one kid, he's just got, I think he's a black kid, light skin, but he's got a lot of freckles. And I'm like, oh, man. When you talk to those people, they're like, I hate my freckles. And I'm like, oh, but it's so beautiful.
It is, yeah. As a kid, I grew up with freckles, and I still have a few, but they were definitely more dominant then. It was like, Yeah, now you got people like getting them put on. Like, that's the trend now,
right. That's crazy. But yeah, I know, man. I see people, with the dots and all, but this kid, his whole face is covered. And, I saw an interview with him the other day, and he talked about his struggles and how he never thought he was beautiful.
Right.
But I do remember seeing him on a poster in Target.
Yeah.
On the men's side, he was on one of those posters. I was like, I know that kid.
Yeah, I get, because we know each other through the modeling and talent agency that I'm with. And, they ask for, photographs or like, the audition tapes or whatnot. They'll ask for my hands, right? I'm like, I got vitiligo on my hands. I was like, I don't know,
Do you really?
Yeah. And especially, it's a little bit more dominant now. I'd have to get them wet. But, it's when I'm in the sun, right? It enhances my darker complexion.
Yeah. So with the vitiligo, it just doesn't pick up the color.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so this is all. I have a joke about it where I'm becoming gentrified.
Man, I didn't even notice when we did our shoot.
Yeah, that's why one of the shots that we have in the street where I'm kind of like looking off like this, like you can tell how white my hand is in contrast to.
Oh,
and
how did I miss that?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm looking at everything.
Yeah.
Maybe I just thought your hands were dry.
Maybe go upstairs and put on some lotion. Well, yeah, I was gonna ask, man, how many hours did it take to make me look half decent, man?
Oh man, you're a good looking guy. It's not that hard. I mean, most importantly for me when I'm taking photos is I want the emotion. The pretend to smile kind of thing, you figure it's not my thing, right?
We talked about that, yeah.
But You know, if we're talking and it's a genuine expression, that's what I want to catch.
Yeah.
That makes it so much better than going home and going, God, none of these look like you. It look like you're pushing it, you're forcing it. We didn't feel that.
Yeah.
Because it was just, we walked and talked, and I'd be like, all right, right here looks good, light looks good, let's try this. And you do it.
Yeah.
Instead of just having you pose, it was like, I have you move around doing stuff, and then it just came out way more natural. Yeah. That's the comfortable person I'm trying to find in front of the camera. First 10, 15 minutes, yeah, you're getting used to me, the camera, the size of the camera. After that, you get relaxed. You know, the rest is gold, man.
Then it starts to flow. Yeah. Once you figure each other out, man, you know. It's like a few dates, man. It's like going home with the first one night stand, man. It ain't all that, man. You got to figure each other out first.
My one night stands come back. No, no, I'm kidding.
Let me write that down. Okay, I need to make sure I get one to come back.
Oh man, no, I'm playing, man. I'm playing. No one night stands for me.
It's a good point, man. Because as you know, I was sitting there, you were setting up and kind of get going, and then I thought, you know, okay, I'm gonna leave him be. He's a pro. Like he just needs to set up, and you just kept talking.
Yeah,
you kept talking, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I realized I'm like, oh, I got to get him behind the mic, because essentially what you're doing there is you're having your own podcast with these people, but it's not, you know, it's not behind the mics like this. But you are having a conversation with, again, I think that's what we share, where it's like you're interested in photographing people. And I'm interested in having just conversations with people.
Yeah.
You know?
But part of my photographing people is all that starts with a conversation.
It does. It has
you know?
to.
I have a consultation with every client, right?
Yeah.
We talk. I don't know if we're going to get along. Is the chemistry there? Is this person just going to be like, yeah, I look good, so you just need to take pictures of me, versus somebody I can spend a few hours with. You know what I'm saying? So it's the conversation is important for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. It kicks everything off. It lets me know how you're feeling that day. What kind of vibe are we going to have? You know, I learn a little bit more about you, and it just, you know, I'll hear someone be like, wait, you do what? You're a stand-up comedian? Whoa, talk to me about that. You know, like, so it's not just
about Godfrey and all that.
It's not about just the pictures. It's about who you are as a person.
Yeah. Which is kind of what I thought, you know, I didn't know. And I'm like, we're just going to go in here, maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours, bang these out and be done. But no, we had like 3.5, 4 hours or so. I was like, whoa.
I don't rush.
Man, I didn't expect that. And it was definitely, you know, a little taxing there at the end, because of, you know, it was all new, didn't know what to expect. Yeah. And, you know, I'm kind of performing, but I'm trying to be, you know, natural. And it was this whole balance, man, that I was going back and forth. But either way, man, we had great conversation, and that was the defining factor that just made it all more comfortable.
Yeah. Good. I always tell people, I say, you'll go home tired, but you'll go home happy. I'm going to get the best out of you, you know? And sometimes, honestly, it's towards the end you get some of the really good stuff too. Yeah. It's just super relaxed. You're kind of tired, and you're like, all right, you know, because, I mean, you saw that. We came back to the steps. I love those.
We started,
when you were laying out with the wall behind you in the red jacket, I'm like, yeah, these look cool. The agency didn't kick any of them back. So
No, they didn't. They took some, and they didn't request a jacket, but I rolled up in that jacket, and you're like, we're going to use this jacket.
Yeah, man.
And that's one thing. Another thing, I keep saying one thing, but a lot of points that we touched on. But you were, you said you like when you have the opportunity to photograph men and get the masculine side of people.
Yeah.
Especially because, you know, the reason I reached out to you, because the talent agency, they book for commercials.
Right.
And so commercials are all just nice and, you know, button up type smiles. Give me a big smile, you know, because we're selling something, right? Yeah. And you're like, nah, man, give me a little stern.
Yeah.
You know, give me some of that.
Give me some of that manliness. That's right.
Yeah, and playing a little bit more with like some of the deeper shadows. Yeah. You know,
right. So, remember that? Yeah. We did that. So the thing is, though, my thing is, when you scrolling through and everybody looks the same, what's gonna stop them and make them go, pause, let me look at this one? That's what I'm looking for, especially like the headshot. I need them to, you're gonna see the smile. Okay, here's somebody he's projecting, but it might not be completely smiling, but that's the one they pick because it's different.
Yeah.
So everybody I work with is gonna get one or two of those photos, to where they're going, "Oh man, the agency didn't pick that one, but I love this one." You know, like you love it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So, and my feeling is, if the agency did put it on there, then somebody would look at it and go, "What's different about this guy? Put him in the list."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Heck yeah, man.
I'm trying.
No, it was it. I speak so fondly of it, man, because it was such a good time. I imagine if I booked the wrong photographer, man, I'd be like, man, I can't stand these photographers. You know?
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
We all have different talents. I'm not going to talk ill about anybody. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not my thing, but we all have different talents, and what we as creatives need to do is look at each other's work and go, damn, that's pretty nice, and be like, and reach out and be like, oh, props.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? But a lot of people don't want to do that. But people reach out to me and be like, what'd you do? Is this one light, two lights? Where were you and what time of day? I'll tell them exactly location, type of lighting. I got nothing to hide. There are no new tricks.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Everybody's got to develop their own style, and you could give another photographer same equipment, same location, and he or she's going to create something different.
Yeah, they're going to
completely different.
Something different, because at the end of the day, it's the eye and it's the capturing.
That's it.
And when we were talking about that, you've done a lot of dance photography. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm thinking like you're shooting it like shutters, like repetition.
No.
You're like, no, it's one shot.
One shot.
I catch it at the apex.
That's
the
it.
zenith, and you get it. And then what you told me is like, the reason they might want to reshoot it as dancers is all in the hands.
All in the hands and feet.
I was like, what? Like,
yeah,
right.
that's really important for them.
Yeah.
Right. I might look at the lighting and how the surroundings look and everything, and the dancers come back and I'm like, this is beautiful, and they'll look at it and go, my foot, it's not pointing enough, or my hands look like I'm holding a burger, so they'll want to. Let me go back and do that, and they'll know. They'll
collaboration.
Yeah, because they'll know what to fix.
Yeah.
Right. So, over the years I've learned I can look at something and be like, no, we need to do that again. But sometimes they look at the minute stuff. They come out and be like, I don't. The lighting is beautiful and everything, but let me do it again so I can fix something, and they'll request.
Yeah.
Because they don't want anything out there that a professional agency or a company is going to look at and go, what's up with this? So
there's something, and I can't nail it, but there's something off. Right?
Oh, they'll know right away.
Yeah.
They'll know right away, and that could make or break somebody's opportunity. So I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And the dancers curate their own thing at the end. They pick this one's good, and that's what they go with.
Yeah. They're like athletes, man. They are athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the amount of injuries they go through.
Yeah. Well, that's what my girlfriend Sheila had pointed, because she did dance for a long time, and she was like, because I brought up that thing. It's like, I was like, the hand position. She's like, yeah, because your face is supposed to be stoic.
Yep.
You're holding these powerful poses, but you're not supposed to
strain.
Yeah. You're not supposed to show that. So it's stoic, face. Hands are nice and gentle, but everything else is power.
Absolutely.
And fluid strength.
I love going to ballet. I love going to ballet. Like, you get to experience stories being told without words. They all got to tell it through their bodies.
Yeah.
Expression. I mean, I love, like when they're young, they're kind of taught to, you're talking teens. They're kind of taught to, they can do anything because they can bend into a Z and come out on the other end okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes they don't necessarily have the emotive expression yet. But a seasoned dancer, they'll tell you with their eyes, face, every fiber of their body is just, I mean, I got a friend named Sharon. She's a professional ballerina.
Yeah.
Amazing dancer. And there are times when I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And I see her go from chit-chat into that mode. It's a beautiful thing. So sometimes very often, like 99% of the times, I will take that shot.
Yeah.
I take
The
that
transformation.
Oh man, it's amazing because they're just setting up,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's just them and their face, and it's just the emotion, and I snap it before they can even think, and I'm like, okay, sorry, I got that one. I had to do it.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
I see it all the time.
Yes.
They just go in the zone, and I love watching that transition. I take that shot, and I have it, and most of them pick that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of them pick that one. It's kind of cool.
You got the eye, man.
Man, I'm looking at things happening in front of me. I see the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
And, it's just nice to be able to capture it.
Yeah, do that, man. So when you're at like family gatherings, man, do you make sure you get in some of that action? You're like, hey guys, take a photo of me here. I'm here too. Because they say that about the photographer, right?
Yeah.
The person always behind the camera.
Yeah. Not often.
Yeah.
Not often. But I know, so you think back to like World War II, right? Those guys, they travel on ship and they're over there in France or wherever they are before they go to the front line. The booths, they take pictures. You see when their covers cocked sideways and stuff, and they're in their uniform, and they would send that home to that special girl with a note on the back or something. And between then and now, we've gotten out of capturing ourselves, right? Which is a big disservice to our families, because those guys weren't sure they were going to make it home.
Yeah, that's true.
But that lady that's, whether they made it or not, somebody's got a record of that person during that time, right? So you think forward in all the technology we have in medicine, we can live to 100 now.
Yeah.
So we just kind of like, we don't need any pictures, but we do.
Yeah.
As men, your kids need to see you, your girlfriends and significant others need to see you in your best, right? So, I used to preach it and I didn't do it. So
that's the thing, man. That's normal, of people, right? We know we should be doing, but executing.
Well, last year we were on our way to Venice, and I got my ladies together and said, let's buy these gowns. We're gonna do a photo shoot in Venice, Italy. I mean, come on, right? Man. So we decided. The girls decided, yeah, all right. So they bought 2 dresses each, gowns, full thing, like they're going to a ball. And then I was telling the client, I'm like, yeah, we're going to Venice. I'm excited. I'm going to do a photo shoot with girls. And she said, are you going to be in it? And I was like, I'm behind the camera. And she's like, well, why aren't you going to be in it? And it got me to thinking, and I went and bought a suit the next day.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, I was in that shoot, man. It was dope.
Hell yeah, man.
It was dope.
What color was the suit? Just classic?
Was like a royal blue with an all-white shirt. Well, so we did that. Everything was beautiful. When I do shoots at home, like when my parents are in town, I will I'll set a studio up. Then I have a trigger that I can use to, and we all get in there and do it. But it just felt like it was going to be harder in Venice. But luckily, we had a couple photographers that I was there with.
Nice.
And they're like, oh, we'll help you out. So they helped out. The pictures came out really well. Now we're getting ready to go to Rome.
Okay.
And Croatia.
Ooh.
Yeah. My tuxedo came in first. I'm in this one.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, I got a tuxedo in the car right now.
In the car right
yeah,
now?
Man. We're gonna go get that tailored fit.
Get around those guns, man.
Man, it's not the guns. The sleeves just a little too. I like a little bit of 1/4 inch of white showing.
Yes.
So I need to have them shorten that, but everything fits well. I got the shoes real shiny, with a little bit of velvet on the side. I'm like, it's Rome. Come on.
Yeah.
Man. So we're gonna do it up. And I saw the ladies' dresses yesterday, and they look amazing.
Good.
Bro. Amazing.
Hell yeah. Well, Rome for a photographer, man. Just any ancient city, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
But Rome.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're thinking of doing a part 2 in Croatia, but it will be a different outfit. So
Okay.
we'll see. Because the ladies, most of them, my wife and the girls, they got blue tones in the dresses.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's long dress is like tulle, just blue Cinderella tulle everywhere. And my other daughter has this blue with like goldish blue embellishment across the chest. My wife's got mostly white with like blue accents, and I'm like, I'm wearing a black suit.
Okay, hell yeah.
A black tuxedo with everything.
Bow tie or?
I'm going with a long tie, but with subdued designs in it.
Okay.
So you'd have to get real close to see it.
To really see it, yeah.
I thought about going bow tie, but I already did that.
Yeah, in Venice?
I did that for a Christmas party.
Okay.
We did the full bow tie, man. It was, it's like one thing to do a clip in the back, but it's another thing to just do the full.
Actual one,
man, dope. So because I already done that, I'm doing the tux with a long tie this time. And then Croatia, I'm thinking my wife's bought this green dress with like flowers on the sleeve and the bottom. I think all the ladies have a green tone dress. And I have a mint green blazer with white pants. It's right by the ocean, so it's a better fit.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm gonna go. So I'm long story to get around to. I am now in the photos.
Yes,
because it's important.
Yeah, it is important.
It's not for me.
Yeah,
it's for them. Right.
Yes.
So
they can see. Hold pound. Ask my dad.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I encourage a lot of men. I'll start with their wives and be like, you need to get them in a suit. Let's do this thing. And when it comes from her, more often than not, they'll be like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. So, because the woman in their lives got a lot of power.
Oh, tons, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need tons. You can tell you got a powerful one.
I do. She's pretty awesome, man.
And she served as well?
She did. She was a Navy gal. She was a Navy doc. She was a flight surgeon for a squadron across the hall, and we were the gun squadrons, and but we share doctors, right? Big squadron. Each squadron has one doc. When you're serving not that many people, sometimes you go in there, one's out flying.
Yeah.
So that's how I met her in combat.
Nice.
That's how I met her. Yeah.
In the dangerous, I guess, field of battle, almost, right?
Yeah, man. She's a badass.
Yeah.
She's a complete badass.
It has to be to put up with you, man.
I don't know. I'm quite mellow. I'm easygoing. She's always like, "You're so easy to please." I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." Very simple. I'm very simple, man.
Just give me my camera.
Give me my camera. Give me space on the couch where I can sit with everybody. Give me good food, and I'm happy.
Yeah, huh? What's good food, man? What's your go-to?
My go-to is, right now it's like jerk burgers.
Oh, come on, dude! You're gonna throw that at me right now? Some jerk, some Caribbean jerk.
Yeah.
Where are you getting this?
I'll make it.
Yeah, man. Of course you are. God damn it! Come on.
Yeah, I'll make it, man. And recently I tried it on bison beef.
Ooh,
brother.
Really?
Oh,
I was this close to pulling the trigger on some ground bison beef.
Oh man, it's tender, sweeter. I don't even know how to explain it, man. But it's a full experience.
No shit. So, are you making your own jerk rub too?
I mix it with other things. So I'll get the basic stuff. If I'm in a hurry, I always go to Walker's Wood. Walker's Wood got the jar.
Yes.
You can mix it in the ground beef or the ground bison meat, and I let it sit a day. Just let it sit a day.
What's what would be like a classic jerk burger, like topping wise? Like lettuce, onions, tomato. What are we doing here? I need to know.
You need to know.
I need to know.
It's Caribbean.
Okay.
A very thin slice of pineapple.
Oh, yes.
Money.
Yes, of
money.
Course. Of course.
And we do it with when we eat it, we drink ginger beer with it.
I love ginger beer.
Yeah, man. Money. It takes me back to the island.
You're speaking to me right now. Come on.
I'm telling you, man, I'm a foodie too.
Taking you back to the island. Are
Yeah.
you from the Caribbean?
I am from Jamaica.
Did I forget that?
I don't know if we talked about it.
You're from, so you were born in Jamaica?
I was born in Jamaica and moved to New York.
Hey.
Yeah. And then, a little bit of high school in New York and joined the military out of New York. And
You moved with your parents to New York?
my mom was already there.
Oh, gotcha.
So I was living in Jamaica with my grandparents and all my aunts and stuff. And then, my mom was here just basically trying to get established.
Yeah.
She was she wanted me there earlier, but my grandma said no because my grandma was a teacher. Mm-hmm. She's very big on a British style of teaching. She felt like educationally would set me up better.
Yeah.
When I left Jamaica and went to New York, I went to high school in New York. I stared out the window the whole time. I got straight A's. I was bored.
Yeah.
And it's lucky I did not get in trouble. I found sports.
Gotcha.
I started working. I worked at McDonald's, man. 16 years old, working at McDonald's for $4.25 an hour.
Hey, that's so lit.
I knew my calling was military. So
yeah.
when it was time to go, it was time to go. I left all that and start over. I'm not afraid to start over, so.
Not that admirable.
You can get comfortable, but it's not a good place to be.
Yeah, it's really not, man.
Yeah.
I'm fighting it.
Don't get comfortable, man. Just push it, always pushing.
Hey, so you're from the Caribbean, then. So did you get into drinking rum? Like, what would be like a rum that you?
This is gonna sound really weird, man. A guy from Jamaica, 20-something years in the military. I don't drink.
Yeah, drink.
No, let me tell you, the only time I drink is if you put. There's this kind of rum cream in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. They have a couple flavors: chocolate, banana, your regular flavor, and you just pour a little bit like this on some ice. It's really thick, but it's better than Bailey's.
Okay.
It's just imagine melted ice cream with rum. Yeah. That's what it's like. It's so good. So when we go to the island, we'll get a couple bottles of those. Mm-hmm. We'll end up giving away most of it and take one for ourselves, and we just over the year we'll sip it until it's empty. But that's it. Typically on the couch, no more than that. Just to get that, it's so smooth.
Yeah, just to have that little moment to enjoy the tasty beverage and not just like I got to get hammered.
Yeah, but the thing about alcohol is I don't really like the taste. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not my thing.
I wouldn't say anybody likes the taste, but I've definitely grown in appreciation for like the the really peaty whiskeys, scotch and tequila. Like I have
some grown up drinks.
No beer though. Fuck beer.
I can't. I tried I have a story. When I was a kid in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. We wore, every school wears uniforms, right? So we got our lunchtime, and we usually go out to, there are usually vendors at the gates, and we used to get, traditional was a beef patty, Jamaican beef patty, and some kind of drink. And that day, they introduced a drink called Green Sands.
Okay.
I drank it, and it was basically like very strong lemonade with beer, but nobody knew it.
Nobody knew it at the time?
Nobody knew it. So we would come back from lunch just wild because we were drunk.
Yeah.
The whole class. We had teachers walk out.
But nobody really knew.
Nobody knew. We were just crushing Green Sands, man. Some people would have like 2 cans of it.
Really?
We didn't know.
Well, hold on. So like they knew you guys were drinking Green Sands, but nobody knew it really had that much alcohol? Or?
No, nobody, everybody was like, why is the school so wild? Because it was everybody, right? Why is everybody acting so wild? And they started going, well, what did they all have for lunch?
Yeah.
And then they went and checked, and then they realized, oh, this Green Sands has alcohol in it.
Damn.
And then it disappeared. Everybody was like, oh, What?
Everybody's feeding.
Man, it was so good.
What are my green sands?
Because I remember playing soccer with my friends, and I'm usually pretty good. I went to line up to kick the ball and whiffed, just like missed.
It's just not even realizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody just started laughing. We were laughing like crazy.
Yeah.
Like uncontrollably, like, what is happening? Why is this so funny? Normally when somebody does that, you're like, man, you're off.
Yeah.
No, we were all laughing.
It's like some hypnosis.
Yeah. And and they cut the green sand cold.
Bam. Green sand's like, damn it.
It was such a good drink.
Almost had it. Is it still around?
No. We must have abused it bad enough. Just those few days. It was like a week of just, I can't wait to get my hands on a green sands. Couldn't tell what it was.
What did your grandma say when you were like, hey, grandma, go give me some green sands?
No, she didn't know. She didn't know. It was just something that happened at school that we didn't even think about it.
How long, do you remember how long it lasted? Like how long you guys got away with it?
A week.
Yeah.
1 week.
That's funny, man.
Then went and told Oliver, and there's no more green sands.
So you had mentioned you got into sports. So you mentioned soccer was that one of the sports you.
So I'm Jamaican, so I had to do track. It's mandatory.
Of course. And bobsledding, right?
I wish. Those guys are still special because they're the only ones that did it.
Right.
Yeah. But no, track was a guaranteed thing. Everybody did it. It's a poor country, so cheap sports. What do you need to track? You need some shorts, tank top, and some sneakers. That's it. I also played soccer because, again, cheap sport. Ball. We didn't even use shin guards. Wasn't even a thing. You get kicked, you get kicked.
Yeah.
All right. You played with your soccer cleats till the toes opened up. Right. And when you didn't have cleats, you still played barefooted. Right.
Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah. And because of my soccer experience, I got into football. I got frustrated. I started growing, and I got frustrated with the acting.
The non-physicality that
the acting, man. You go for the ball and you barely touch somebody and they dove. I just got frustrated. I felt like, I was getting yellow cards for just barely tapping somebody.
Yeah,
I'm like, what? So I went to football, and, the transition was tough.
Yeah.
And here's why. One, I had no hands.
Oh, yeah.
I was used to using my feet for everything.
Yep.
So I could outrun a ball. I couldn't catch it.
Then catching them.
Yeah, so I'd outrun everybody.
Damn.
And
you see you like in the replacements where they put glue on it.
Yeah. So the coach was like, "Come here, I got something for you." So he put me in the backfield. Stuff it in the belly, let him go. And that was where I was like, "Oh, this is fun."
Nice.
I was making people fall, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have to hit anybody. I'd just cut and watch people slide by and hop. I was laughing in the end zone. I was just having fun.
Yeah.
And
playing with them.
Yeah, because now I get to cut and turn without a ball.
Without worrying about controlling.
Yeah,
the
not
ball
have to control
here.
the ball. I just dig my foot in and stop and watch you slide by. So that was my talent, and that talent took me to Florida State.
Hey, damn, hell yeah.
So I played football there 2 years. Some of my teammates, I don't know if guys like Chris Winkie, Peter Warwick. Who else went to the NFL? Anquan Bolin was my teammate.
Yeah.
So a couple guys went to the league, but I couldn't play around with them like that.
Yeah, right.
You get there, everybody's fast. Everybody knows the game. Everybody's beast mode all the time, man.
Yeah. It's like showing up to an audition being like, "Oh yeah, I'm unique," and then you show up and there's 50 other people that look just like you, and it's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. But those guys were killing it, man. And my first year in the military wouldn't let me play.
Oh, really?
I had to get to college, get through officer candidate school. Can't be injured in officer candidate school. It was probably, they're protecting their investment. Me.
Yeah.
Officer candidate school was pretty rough. You definitely couldn't go there with any sort of injury because you're gonna get one when you get there. And they run you ragged.
Damn.
So I didn't do my first year. came back, still had a little bit of time, and I was my own agent. I reached out to the running back coach, told him who I was, and he was like, I didn't expect anything back.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes later, bing, my email, hey, come see me. I was like,
Bam, and you win it.
I went, did my thing, had a room full of like, I don't know, 200 guys.
Yeah.
He called off 3 names. And he's like, rest of y'all, I'll see you next year. Like, whoa, this is Florida State football. We get to pick what we want.
Exactly.
And it was, I remember the guy's name was Patrick Newton. It was me, Patrick Newton, and another kid. And after the coach sends everybody away, and they're all looking around like confused, like, wait, what? What just happened? Mm-hmm. The other guy had cornrows, and coach said, hey, I'm going to need you to get a haircut. And he says, sorry, coach, I can't do that. He's like, I'll see you too.
Yeah.
And we're down to 2.
Damn.
Just like that. It was, big programs like that, man. You get a shot. Yes, coach. Yeah. That's the answer every time. So, so I did 2 years there, and then, so that was my sophomore, junior year. Mm-hmm. Then my senior year, I had to really focus on, hey, I'm about to graduate, go back into my military career. So,
gotcha.
Refocus again. So it's the second year I had to drop it.
So were you taking courses there to better be prepared for your roles in the military as well? Or was it a separate venture?
No, this was, I was sent to college by the military.
Okay.
To become an officer.
Gotcha.
Commissioned officer, you got to have a degree. Mm-hmm. You can't fly unless you have a degree. And so I wanted to fly, so I had to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we you kind of left it the last time I talked to you. You were talking about how you've been trying to get your pilot's license.
Yeah, and, I'm at the final stage. So I have multiple licenses already.
Yeah,
I'm all the way up to commercial, so you can get me for hire.
That makes sense, right? Yeah, that's right. So what's the lowest level? I guess that anybody could have
private pilot.
Private pilot.
Yeah, need to have. Well, I guess there's sport pilot, but then. Sport pilots, they're really looking to fly themselves.
Gotcha.
Private pilot, they're looking to go step by step. So private pilot, instrument rated pilot, commercial pilot, multi-engine instrument rated. And after multi-engine instrument rated, then you start working on ATP, which is airline transportation pilot. That's the ultimate goal. I'm almost there. Mm-hmm. Truth be told, I had a shot and I messed up.
I mean, you messed up, but you were telling me how it kind of broke down, and I was like, man, that seems weird, like how it all played out, that they weren't just like, hey, we'll need to reschedule this. I come back.
Yeah, well, you know what, man? I take responsibility for myself, right?
For sure, and I get that.
Yeah. So the way I look at it and the way I move on is to go, okay, I messed that up. Mm-hmm. Well, let's go look for my next opportunity now.
Yeah.
And don't mess that one up.
Yeah.
So it happened. It is what it is. I can try and put that on somebody else as much as I would like, but
it doesn't change it. But taking responsibility for how you have is how you change it going forward.
It helps me go forward too. Otherwise, you're stuck blaming somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not going to do that.
No, that's where I'm at too with my. You mentioned, yesterday, us possibly recording yesterday. I was like, oh no, I got to meet with somebody to give me counsel on my court hearing coming up next week. And it's the same thing. It's like, I did everything that I was supposed to, but I didn't make sure that they were doing what they were supposed to. With the MVD and all that. It's the fallout from my DUI that I had last year, and I'm just like, well. If I was doing the right thing and I never got the DUI, I wouldn't be in this position anyways. So at the end of the day, it's taking responsibility in that sense. And I can sit here and fester and just be like, why didn't this happen? Why didn't that happen? But
there's no growth in that.
There's none.
There's no growth in that. You very often when you end up blaming somebody else, you may end up going out and doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, okay, how do I move on from this, and how do I ensure A, B, or C doesn't happen anymore? Mm-hmm. What are my steps? What have I learned from that mistake? And that's where I'm at. So I'm doing, I put in for multiple jobs, right? because of that failure, though, I feel like a lot of people look at it and go, "Is he ready?" Because they're spending money on you.
Yeah.
But I am talking to multiple people, sending out multiple resumes and applications to different flying organizations. You go through 20 no's before you get a yes.
Yeah, and the more, it is so true. And as you are still, putting yourself out there and trying to reach these people, and they're getting familiar with you, it's at the end of the day, it's word of mouth, it's relationships, right, that make stuff happen. So
absolutely,
they're starting to see you, and it's like, okay, well, this guy, wow. Then they can start prying. It's like, hey, why did that happen?
Yeah,
why this?
yeah.
And then you can further explain. But if you come out, right now and be like, well, it's because of this, and nobody's gonna hear that, and be like, yeah.
At the end of the interview, everybody's like, whew, not hiring that guy. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
So no, I take responsibility for my stuff, man, and it's not that I didn't give it 100%. I did, and I was 93, 95% on everything that I've done all the way up until the very last event, and it just the moment got bigger than me.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Well, you've been looking at it for a while, right? Looking towards it. What's the first inclination you had that, maybe as a kid, you loved planes and...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we all did. I had dreams of flying, just as me just running and taking off.
Yeah.
Flying,
yeah.
Right?
We all
Everybody
had
does,
that dream.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where did that come in to your life early on, or?
Oof. Very early. Probably I made that decision when I was like 5.
Yeah.
I want to be a pilot.
I want to fly out of Jamaica and go to New York to my mom.
I don't know where I wanted to go. I just wanted to fly. I got on a plane first time, probably I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
And, back then the cockpit door was open and you're like, whoa, look at that. But before then I was always making planes. I would use glue and cardboard and build like planes, and, just everything about airplanes fascinated me. I'd go to the airport. If somebody was traveling or somebody was coming to see us, I'd go to the airport and just go to the observation deck. It was just a flat, elevated spot, and just watch planes take off and land all day long.
Yeah.
Somebody had to come drag me away to go home, I loved it, man. And, I'm 49 years old, and I still could watch planes take off. And, I live close to Luke Air Force Base.
Yeah.
I get to see that all day long, so.
And hear it, man. Some of those jets, man.
Shoot. Yeah. And just hearing them, seeing them, just makes you want to be in them.
Yeah. What's that feeling you get, man, when you're behind, a flying object? I
flew to Lake Havasu this morning.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Got up. We took off at 6:45, went to Lake Havasu. The restaurant wasn't open, so we used the bathroom, got in the plane, flew back. That's why I was telling you. I was like, hey, I might need, to come a little later.
That's right.
Because I was landing at 11 a.m. So, and it feels good, man. It just feels nice.
Yeah.
Feel right to be up there and seeing all of God's creation. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. A vehicle, a car is a sign of just freedom and just going, right?
Yeah.
But now you get to move in in third dimension and not just 2 dimensions,
It feels way more natural than flying helicopters. That's what I did in the military.
Yeah.
Where it just feels, airplanes naturally want to fly. Helicopters don't.
You're forcing it, huh?
Yeah, we usually say we beat the air into submission. So, yeah.
That's good.
I mean, once you get to a certain point of doing it, you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. But it was harder than flying a plane.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because, it kind of wants to go every which way, right?
It wants to spin, first of all, in the opposite direction of the rotors.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
That's why they have a tail rotor or 2 going in the opposite direction. They don't shape like they want to fly.
Yeah.
They do go in whichever way you don't want them to go. It's a weird thing. Like the simple thing like hovering or sliding left, sliding right. It's just, you feel like, oh, this is not right. But when you get it, it's weird. It's just like you'll fight it all day, and one day you'll just be like, I give up. And you go on the next day and it's like, click, you got it. Yeah, it's weird. So strange.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so funny you beat it into submission. Is it true that there's a thing that they call the Jesus bolt? And a Jesus bolt, like there's one bolt holding like it all kind of
yes,
together,
yes, yeah. It's usually so we have the mast, and then the rotors are on top of it.
Yeah.
And on top of that is the bolt that holds. It's going to be bigger, different for different helicopters. I imagine, some of the bigger ones have multiple articulating pieces, but at least for us we were twin blade at the time, and you had the giant bolt at the top, bolt in, torque down, and then safety wired. You can't afford that thing to come off.
Yeah. Is a plane safer to crash in than a helicopter? Depends on the ones, right?
First of all, nobody wants to even think about crashing, okay? But you always have to train for it.
Yeah.
Having experience in both, I tell you, a helicopter is terrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you auto rotate. And you can do it at, again, depending on the size of the aircraft and whatnot, you got to do it at different speeds. So for me, I was a Huey pilot in the military. We auto rotate at 90 to 100 knots.
Okay.
Right. But you're falling out of the sky at 1,500 feet per minute. It's not fun.
Yeah.
No parachute, right? Because you hop out, you're probably going to get chopped up.
Yeah, right.
So you got to ride it down. And it was always terrifying. 1,500 feet, okay, I'm going to intentionally turn the fuel off now and just let this thing fall out of the sky till about 100 feet, and then I'm going to go, woo, and hopefully the fan up there has enough energy to push the air forward and stop me.
To soften it.
Yeah. But when we were training...
Like jumping in an elevator.
Yeah. When we were training in Pensacola, man, students, we used to do that all the way to the ground.
What?
Just build confidence.
Yeah.
Build confidence.
Yeah.
Then when you get to the more, expensive military stuff, they didn't let you do it to the ground. You went to 5 feet and you caught it. Because they had, expensive $2.5 million forward-looking infrared systems underneath. You got weapons, 50 cal, miniguns. You don't want to bang all that stuff on the ground all day long, right? Because you're going to tear stuff up.
Damn, so you intentionally free-falled in a helicopter for training like that?
Every single time you fly, you do it. You got to practice it.
Yeah, that's true.
That way you don't freak out when it actually happens. Because there's, you remember like in Sully, there's that moment of, oh, something's going on.
Yeah.
Where they got to, we just lost all our engines. Something's going on, right? We got to figure. In a helicopter, you don't have a lot of time because we're not at 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 feet. We're at 1,500 feet. Yeah. You got a minute. Mm-hmm. You got to react now. So that's the difference. In a plane, like, Havasu, we're out there we flew there, 6,500 feet? And the whole time you're flying, you're looking around. Where would I land next? Mm-hmm. If something went down right now, where would you got to have that mentality.
Yeah.
And, luckily, we're mostly desert here. So you have opportunity to actually land in the desert and survive.
Oh, versus like trees and forests.
Man. Can you imagine? I can't imagine. I know a young lady that I used to fly with. She crashed on the East Coast at night, I think.
Oh, shoot.
Into some trees, and it was bad. They survived.
Yeah.
But it was still kind of like, especially when you hear those stories as a pilot, it make you think as well. Yeah. Like, well, what would I do differently?
Yes.
Lessons learned kind of thing. What would I have done differently?
Yeah.
And hopefully the outcome would be better. But you never know, man. But
what's the closest you've come to, like, have you ever had a moment in the air where you're like, whoa, like, not while you're training?
I wouldn't say it was related to like losing an engine. Mm-hmm. It was related to being shot at.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had several of those.
Dude, what does that feel like, man? You're in the air being shot. I mean, being shot at just in general, but now you're in the air.
Yeah, it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
We're not fast like military jets. Helicopters, they're the slowest of all the aviation assets, right? A machine gun can take you down as long as they're shooting properly. The difference with us is we get to shoot back.
Yeah.
But on that particular day, we were actually in a firefight and we got called in. and we went in. It was just the weirdest feeling. We went in to shoot the aggressors, and the guy came out and started shooting at us. Kid you not, man, like everything slowed down.
Yeah,
it's like slow motion, just watching the aircraft action and watching the rounds come out in an arc.
Whoa.
Like you can see that. I could see them.
Your body gets to some point,
Yeah.
your mind just is
like
hyper.
So hyper. I could see, and I remember seeing the round come in that dark arc, and I went, and it went chink, and it came through the windshield. I was like, oh. It was a rough day, man. It was a rough day.
I'd say so.
We didn't know we had been hit so many times, but
Uh-huh.
we went back and through the windshield, so came through the cabin, into the rotors.
Yeah.
Rotors got hit, the tail boom, the tail rotor. So that aircraft was down. If we flew it again, it would shred itself. So
Yeah.
man.
You had to retire it?
No, you just put it back down. It's down. You jump into the next one. Move all your gear to the next one. The firefight's still going. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get over there and get back in the air.
And you go right back to where you were just being shot at.
Yeah, you do not think about it. You just go.
Yeah.
You just go. The thing is, as military aviators, we're there for one reason, and that's to support the infantrymen on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as those guys are still getting shot at, your job's not done.
Yeah.
You have to go back. You'll have time to think about it later.
Yeah.
You have time to think about it later.
That's true. Have you read that book from Jocko? I think we brought it up. Jocko Willink and
I know who he is.
The Extreme Ownership, because we kind of mentioned that
Yeah.
earlier. Where you talked about how you failed the that one pilot exam, and it's like you just have to take ownership of it.
Yeah. I haven't read the book.
Yeah.
But I did hear him speak.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff, especially his job as a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Where, I could be in the air and be relatively safe. On the ground, you're not. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantees anyway, but
Yeah.
I have a significant advantage being in the air.
Okay.
Compared to those guys who are kicking down doors and, I have a lot of respect for anybody who decides to do that job, because we went through the training and it sucked.
Yeah.
I went through it. If I had to do it again right now, I couldn't. I'm too old, but it's a young man's game.
Mm-hmm.
And going through the training, going through 6 months of infantry training was tough.
Yeah.
But it gets you to understand what they're going through. I don't know if any other service does it like that, but the Marines do that. You will, regardless of what you do, you could be a cook, you could be admin, you could be a pilot. Every single man and woman is going through infantry training.
Yeah.
Period. You got to feel it, man. You got to know.
Yeah.
So when you get out there to do the work, you understand what the 100 degrees days are, and the miles and miles of patrol and 80-pound packs. You're like, man, that guy's sucking it right now. How can I make his day a little bit better?
Okay,
a little bit better.
Support.
Yeah.
What was the last tour you did?
2008. I was in Iraq.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing special.
No.
No.
That been at the? No, I guess the height would have been right when it kicked off, right in 2003, 2004.
It depends on your experience, because I mean, when we got there, it was nuts.
Yeah.
We went in 2005.
Oh yeah.
First time. Crazy. I mean, you're basically in a firefight at least 3 times a week. Every time you go back, you're like, it's not so bad. It's not as bad as the last one.
Yeah, right.
Your brain does this weird thing where it adapts.
It does.
And all of a sudden you're like, it's not as bad as the last one. The food's incredible.
Yeah.
They make sure we get fed.
So you got a pretty sick sense of humor then, right, Kavan?
Oh shoot, you set me up?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, you just know that you hear that, like, like police officers and nurses and doctors and people that just deal with, like the bad aspects of humanity day in and day out, or less fortunate stuff with people, in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're dealing with, gang violence and wounds and that type of stuff, right? That they have, a darker sense of humor because they just experience, that stuff.
I don't know about I wouldn't necessarily say darker. I mean, I mean, when something's funny, it's funny.
It's funny, yeah.
You know, when you know, if you go somewhere and somebody crapped their pants because they almost got shot at, you know, then that's gonna be funny later.
Yes, yeah.
I'm gonna laugh at you about it later.
Yeah.
But in the moment, you're like, "Dang, I get it."
Yeah, well,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it sucked, but yeah. Now we look at things and we look back at things. I just came back from a friend of mine's retirement like 2 days ago.
Oh, nice. Well, congratulations to your
Yeah,
friend.
it was, and you know, he went through the list of names that aren't with us anymore, and you know, to us, we were just the lucky ones.
Yeah, right.
And he was basically like, he didn't think he was gonna. He said, I wasn't gonna survive this experiment, you know. And there are days when we all feel like that, but it's like, well, if I'm not gonna survive it, then I'll make sure I do as much damage as I can before I go.
Yeah.
That was our mentality.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you kind of, so, you know, as far as like sense of humor, we just know that we've experienced so much and been so close to death that some things are just kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know, you're just kind of like,
Oh,
well,
and you have to
Yeah.
laugh at it at some point.
yeah. I mean, most people would be like, they'd probably complain about it, but, you know, we know that we're here for a certain amount of time. And until that time comes, there's no way out. So the sooner you do your job and get in a good rhythm, the better it becomes.
Yeah.
So we used to use the term embrace the suck.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck.
Oh, yeah.
So
I have a shirt.
Yeah.
That says that, yeah. you really have to. But also, like, you start to look back at, you know, those moments. And it's like I told my son, too, you know, where they're like, we're having something. He's like, this sucks. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, but do you know, have you heard of Sheila's dad's stories? Like, her dad's story has some crazy stories. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, don't you like them? He's like, yeah. I'm like, and each one someone's getting hurt or something bad happened, but this is how they figured it out. And he's like, yeah, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, man. You look back at that and it's like, but remember how fucked up that was? But hey, we made it out, right? We did it.
Yeah.
We got each other. And those got to be some of the best friendships and relationships that you have because you guys were.
Listen, man, I haven't seen some of those guys I haven't seen since 2008.
Yeah.
And when we saw each other on Thursday night, it was like we never stepped away.
Right.
You know, yes, things have happened in our lives. You know,
Yeah.
we got kids and married and divorces and all that stuff and opening new businesses. I mean, they're all, you know, all the guys there are doing pretty well. I got a buddy who was a classmate of mine who's now a colonel.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I'd be a colonel right now, you know, which is kind of crazy. But I'm so proud of him, right? Because he's like one of two in our group that are left.
Yeah.
And he's a colonel, a full bird colonel. You know how cool that is?
Yeah.
That's a badass status right there, man. You know, all the deployments and all that. He's worked for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marine Corps don't give you anything.
That's right.
You got to work for everything. Yeah. So he's worked and beaten cancer and continued to be on active duty.
Dude.
Just as soon as he was done, he was right back to work.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, man, it's like we never left. There's a bond there. If somebody says, if somebody calls up and say, we need help with this, we're going to be there. You know, we had a guy come from Hawaii for this retirement.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Hawaii, Colorado. We were in Leavenworth in Kansas, and we came from all over, East Coast, West Coast. I'm still trying to get everybody together for like a reunion.
Yeah,
just
proper
like
one.
A couple cabins out by the river, you know, bonfire and fishing, and I love to. That's not stuff that I get to do every day, so I want to step away from the everyday thing to just go hang out. We can talk about anything but politics.
Yeah, right. Yeah, oh man. in an election year, you're trying to do this in an election year?
No, man. I don't think it's gonna matter with those guys.
Right.
It's not gonna matter.
No, it shouldn't.
The one thing we can do is, because we fought each other in Iraq, living in the same space with a bunch of guys, you're gonna end up fighting each other, right? Going to blows and stuff. But at the end of it, we're still brothers.
Yeah.
It's not like, not like everybody else is like, oh, I can't talk to that person because they're a Republican or they're a Democrat. And No, we're family.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. You talk all the shit you want. At the end of the day, I still love you. I know you love me, and we move on.
Yeah, because you literally had each other's backs.
Exactly. Didn't care, and we were Democrat, Republican, and Independent then.
Mm-hmm.
We were from different countries. We were immigrants. We were born Americans. We were everything.
Yeah.
My cockpit was a young lady with a Russian name. Guy from I don't remember where she was from. Guy from Kentucky, big country boy. It me, Mexican. That was our crew.
Yeah.
You mess with us, you're gonna get jacked up.
Yeah,
You know, where you from didn't matter.
yeah.
Didn't matter. We were there together, and I mean, if I'm walking in the airport and I see one of them, I'm gonna be happy to see them. I'm gonna walk over and give them a hug.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be like, "This is weird."
Yeah.
You know, why is this 6'6" country boy hugging on this black guy? Where's this blonde woman come from hugging on this black guy? It's like, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, same experiences, and yeah, we get to banter on Facebook and stuff back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, unlike most people where they're like, boop, unfriend, that's not us.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's like we're not that. We're not soft.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. No, I haven't unfriended anybody on Facebook, let alone I don't think I've blocked anybody, but I've definitely unfollowed people, and it wasn't for anything like political or any idea. It was just that it was nonsense. It was posting just like literal like there was no saving grace, in my opinion, for what they were posting.
They weren't adding any value to it. Yeah,
they weren't challenging any. It was just like the lowest bar of like, you know, what it was. I'm just like, oh, I can do without that. But people that I disagree with all the time, like, man,
disagreement is good.
It has to.
Disagreement brings debate, and that's what we need to do more of. Debate, not just cut people off. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm going to hear my thoughts, and somewhere you're going, okay, I didn't think about it that way. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I hear my thought, and they go, all right. People don't do that anymore, so they're just quick to cut you off, and it's like, you know what? Let's just not even talk about it. I like you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you're going to get offended by what I say, so let's just not talk about it.
And then they're missing out, because if you get offended like that at left and right, then you're being left out of certain situations because you can't handle it.
Yeah.
To me, that's a sad way to be looked at. It's almost like you're being babied at that point.
People have different experiences, and they will have different reactions to certain things, but if you're not willing to at least have the conversation, then we're not helping each other.
Yeah.
Have that conversation, you know, be unafraid to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, I know people will get offended. Sometimes it's not intentional, man.
No.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings. You know, I know like nowadays there's a thing like, oh, I got to clap back. I'm like, if I don't have anything nice to say, I just won't say anything.
Yeah. Right. Hold it to yourself.
Yeah, I'd just rather not. I'm going to let that slide. I'm going to go about my business.
I get people's frame of thinking where it's like, well, I'm a good person and I believe this, so a good person should believe this. You know, and if that person doesn't believe what I believe, then they're not a good person. Like that's why I feel like everything kind of like dwindles to that. And it's like, dude, get out of that mindset.
Yeah. You know, that term, I'm a good person, kind of makes it seem like I'm already there. I don't need to get any better.
Oh, yeah, right.
Versus me, I know I mess up every day, but I'm trying to be better every day.
Yeah.
I prefer that because I'm trying, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm willing to hear you out. If you're just a good person, you're like, well, I'm right, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm a good person. I don't need to listen to you.
Check, please.
Yeah. Forget I'm a good person. That means you're there. I'm not there. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to be the better version of me today than tomorrow than the next day, you know? That's how life is, man. Yeah. You know, you could have everything set out perfectly and it decides, no, I'm gonna throw a wrench in it because it always happens.
Yeah.
And you know, you see people who are like, well, I'm a good person. This shouldn't be happening to me.
Oh, yeah. Then you're basing your actions off of expectations, and instead of just doing it just because that's the right thing to do and to be. Expectations, man.
Things happen and you got to flex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, it's just, I don't know, man. There's a lot going on.
There is, but when you're up in the air, man, your mind is clear, right? You're not worrying about that.
Oh, yeah.
You're just thinking about the here, the now. You know, that's it.
You think about the very short future, like, I'm going to get to this place and I'm going to land the aircraft. And then whatever I have happening on the ground, you know, then I'll deal with that when I get back down. But right now I need to focus on this alone.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, at some point I want to be flying around with passengers and getting paid for it. So that has to be my mentality.
Yeah.
You know, I can't have other thoughts while I'm up there. I will have time off. I guarantee it.
Imagine, meeting the pilot. It's like, hey, hi, I'm Kavan. Yeah, I'll be your pilot tonight. All right, cool. How are you doing? Well, I got this, and I'm just like, and you're like stressed out. You got sweat.
Oh, we got to get off this plane.
Yeah, man.
Gotta get off this plane. There's a video of this captain on YouTube who she just lost it. And she's up front telling everybody about how she just recently got divorced and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And they sent somebody like, come get your girl.
Yeah, I know.
And they took her off the plane, got another captain.
Yeah, we get it, you know, honor you, you know, showing up to work and all that, but you're not in the right mindset.
Oh, and she wasn't in her uniform yet. And so, you know, most of these companies have policies where you're like, something going on, let us know. We'll find somebody. Mm-hmm. They'll always have a replacement on standby.
Yeah.
100% of the times. Because if people don't take themselves out of, hey, I have a situation, I can't fly today. They can't just tell the passengers, all right, well, so they always have some they call it reserve. Yeah. It's usually like within 2 hours. So your flight may be delayed, but somebody's coming.
Yeah, and you'll get there for sure in one piece.
Right?
Instead of, I'm divorced and everybody's going down.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're not stable, man. Be honest and be like, hey, I'm not good today. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm pull myself off schedule for a day or two. Yeah. You get right. Whether it's emotional, mental, health-wise, just do the right thing. In the military, it's a little tougher to do that, especially when you're in combat. Yeah. You know, like you're gonna write yourself off. Hey, I need to take a day off. Or everybody else is busting their ass. It's not a good look. Yeah. Mission needs to get done. Yeah. We all get 12 hours off a day. Right? We were on schedule, 12 hours, on, 12 off. You'll get time to reset, but the mission needs to get done. Because, I mean, everybody starts doing that. Then
no, that's a different animal.
Yeah.
It's a different animal. I mean, that's to bring it down to like a more, common maybe experience that people can relate to. It's my line of work, retail, sales, and COVID. Yeah. Companies saw what they could get away with by going down bare bones with the staffing. Yep. Everywhere you go, it's understaffed. And then they realized, like, oh, we can get away with this. Yeah. Because we were operating that way. Without during COVID. Exactly. So. And during COVID, we all had the understanding. We're like, okay, yeah, we know this is going on, extenuating circumstances. We can put up with this. But now it's, we're 3-4 years removed, and how are we still there? Yeah, they try to keep doing the same thing. How? I'm just like, man, they just saw what they could get away with, and for that point in time, we were okay with it. We hunkered down. We'll do this for the time being. But yeah, now it's like, okay, what's going on? Need you to hunker down the rest of your life. Exactly. Nope, man. Come on, man. What's going on with you? Why don't you want to do that? For someone else, no way, man. No way. Yeah, no, it's life's too short, man. Yeah. We have certain things that we want to do. You got a bucket list. Yeah. We got to be working on that bucket list. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why we're traveling so much. Places we want to see. Right now, can you fly yourself to these places? As long as you were able, they had access to, I guess, a plane.
If I had access to a plane that could do the distance, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm legal to do that. I can fly VFR, which is visual flight rules. I'm IFR, instrument flight rules, which when you're going long distance like that, you're thinking IFR.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I can do it in a helicopter or a plane, so I'm qualified in both.
Nice.
But yeah, you know, it's expensive.
Yeah.
So
what's it cost to is like stabling a horse, right? You know, you have to get.
I don't know. I don't know what stabling a horse is like, but first of all, I mean, you'd have to be a millionaire to own a plane, unless you're like a small plane and renting it out to other people.
What do they call it, a Cessna or something? Is that a small plane or?
That's a small plane. Yeah. If you're a small jet, you got to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
And that's the way. I mean, if you're saying, hey, let's go from here to Mexico, I can do that in Cessna. But if you're saying, let's go from here to Italy, it's going to be a long-ass trip. Yeah, right. You don't have the fuel capacity to make it over the water.
What? Oh, just the Atlantic, right?
Yeah, you don't have the fuel capacity. It's not enough. And that's why those big jets, you know, they got 50,000 pounds of fuel. They're going to be all right. They have to have enough fuel to make it to their destination and fly somewhere else for like 2 hours in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
And land and still have reserve. So
damn.
They have a ton of fuel.
Yeah, not how we run everything around here, right? It's like I'm on empty. Since I got 15 miles, I got to drive 20.
Yeah. When light comes on, I know I got 30 left.
Yeah. What do I got to do to get on the next flight with you, Kavan, and have you as my pilot? When's the next time you're going to Lake Havasu for a potty break?
Well, I'm be temporarily in Prescott for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we come back from
Rome,
I'm getting my second shot.
Okay.
So when I come back from Rome and Croatia, I'm going to be spending about 4 days a week in Prescott, just flying around with another pilot.
Gotcha.
To finish off the hours that I need.
Yeah.
But it's with a company that's going to give me an interview at the end of it.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's a shoe-in.
Heck yeah.
Take the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, no guarantees.
Yeah.
But if you provide me with an opportunity, I'm gonna push the door open. I'm gonna show you the best I can.
Yeah.
You know, at the end they decide, no, you're not for us. Then I at least got a super high discount on the flight hours.
Yeah, there you go.
And I got more discount on flight hours, built more hours, and I can go to another company. So, I mean, there's some other companies that I got responses from. They were basically like, get a couple more hours and come see us in 6 months. You know, and so I'm learning a little bit about patience as well.
That's the big one, right?
Dude, man, it's you know, when you're my age, you know what you want.
I was gonna say, I was like, is it also because you feel like you're getting up there in age? 'Cause, man, I mean, you look good, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but you know, airlines, they cut you off at 65, mandatory.
Gotcha. Okay.
So for me, it's like, I only got 15 years, but that's still plenty of time.
Yeah.
I mean, what if I go in there and decide I only want to do this 10 years and save every bit of money I make? You know, and then be like, all right, I got my benefits. I can fly to, man, this lady told me she flew to Spain for $48. She was with an airline company.
Yeah.
Oh, first class too.
Damn, come on.
Because, you know, most of the coach and the business class, they fill up first.
Yeah.
You ever go on a plane and like look down the first class and, well, when you go on international flights, you know the first class people board first. And you get on the flight when it's your turn and you're walking past all these empty first class seats.
Yeah.
If you're with a company, you can book one of those first class seats for like $50.
Damn.
So if you want to be a pilot or a flight attendant, you can book it.
Take that empty seat, right?
I've if I wasn't going a pilot route and I was like a single person, I'd definitely become a flight attendant.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I'm going to pilot route because that's the dream. That's always
Yeah.
I've always had that dream.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, I don't think it's never too late to go after the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
So yeah, I may get there at 50 years old, but so what? I'm there.
But you're there.
Yeah.
You're getting it.
One step at a time, man.
I got faith in you, man.
So do I.
Hey, good,
So do
man. And that's what counts.
I mean, if I give up on a dream, it's done.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm gonna keep going till.
I don't want to see that Kavan. I don't want to see the
No.
Kavan that no longer wants to fly, man.
No, man, that's not a. I mean, there was a point.
Yeah.
There was a point where I was like that. 2000. I'll say about 2011 ish.
Okay.
I mean, this is all the flying we did was just combat flying.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I went through my logbook, and you know, more than 2/3 of it was all in red ink, and red ink indicates combat time. And I looked through it, I'm like, I have like 3 pages of black ink, and the rest is all red. And I was like, holy smokes! And I know there are guys out there that's got multiple logbooks like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you just get worn out.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had to step away from it to fall in love with it again.
Uh-huh.
No, but I'm gonna step away for it for good reasons. One, I was tired.
Yeah.
2, got married.
Yeah, the kids.
Had kids. You know, it was like transitioning from the military. It's like, well, I mean, I considered it right before I retired. My wife said, well, you know, my schedule's crazy. You'd be gone all the time. We got young kids, so timing wasn't right.
Yeah, yep.
Now the girls are smart. They're, you know, they got key to the house. They're, you know, they know how to feed themselves.
Yes.
You know?
There you go.
So I can afford to step away for a little bit. Unlike the military, I'm not going to be doing 6, 7, 8, 9 month deployments. I'm going to be gone a few days. You know, if you go the airline route, you're going to be gone 4 days. If you go the corporate route, you're going to be gone 7 days. Cargo route, I think they're up to 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
You know, but you either do airline, you do a 3-4, 3 days on, 4 days on, 3 days off. Business class, private jets, you're doing 7-7, which is a great schedule.
Ooh, that is great.
And then cargo guys, because they're doing the world hopping thing, they're gone 14, 16 days, but they also get 14, 16 days off, which I was like, ooh, I'd never have to take a vacation.
Yeah, 'cause it's built in, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks. I mean, who goes anywhere for 2 weeks? That's us, 2 weeks, but we're back at 2 weeks, you know? So, yeah, I would, but any offer I get, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, you got to jump at the first one, right?
Yeah, I'll take it.
The first, I guess the first one that is already on your radar, you know, because you might get another one up here, and you're like, well, hey, whoa.
Well, you know, it's got to be the right fit, man.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The right fit, and that's why you're already considering those.
Yeah. It's got to be the right fit. The cargo route, I'll take it, but it's also a little bit uncomfortable for my family.
Yeah,
I understand that, but we're also not 7, 8, 9 months.
Yes.
So it's doable.
Yeah.
I got a buddy that does it, and he loves it. You know, he flies for FedEx.
That's different. Yeah. Now you got a guy that you know personally that's doing it. And it's like, how are you balancing it?
Yeah. He's like, man, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, his wife handles his 2 girls when they're gone, and come home, he reconnects with his family. I mean, you know, guys our age, married with kids and stuff. I mean, that's all we do is hang out with our family. You know, I'm not, you know, you're either playing golf or enjoying a thing that you've created, and you know, I've got my photography. Yeah. Right. That's my thing. Some guys have sports cars. You know, I got sports cameras. There you go. You know, too many, in fact. But yeah, I mean, we all have our little thing, and that kind of lifestyle as a pilot allows a lot of freedom. It's hard work. Yeah. To get in, it gets better as time goes on. You get a little more seasoned. It gets better, but in general, man, it's very hard to find an unhappy pilot. Yeah.
That's a good point, man.
You know?
That is a good point. My kids just flew for the first time last weekend.
Yeah, where'd they go?
We went to Vegas for
Sweet.
My nephew graduated high school. My other nephew was turning 13, and I was like, man, I was like, we're just gonna drive. And then I started looking at prices, and I was just like, dude, we can fly Frontier for like less than $60 round trip.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, I'm gonna fill up at least 4 times, you know, so that's $60 right there.
Yeah.
Right. So we did, and when we went in, I don't know what triggered the flight attendant there, but she was like, "Do you guys want to meet the pilots?"
Oh,
So their first time on the plane, they get to go in there.
that's awesome.
The guys were nice. They even let them sit in the chairs.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Just don't touch anything. Don't touch anything," you know. But yeah, imagine that
cool
your first
experience.
Exactly,
Yeah,
man.
That's
And we
pretty
flew
awesome.
into Vegas at night, so like the
lights.
whole lights, everything.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It was a good time, man.
Yeah. I've been going to races for years.
Uh-huh.
I used to race motorcycles. I love car races. I still go to car races. We used to live in Monterey, California, right by a place called Laguna Seca. Very popular racetrack. And I took my daughter there for a race. Honestly, I've been following this. I've been following racing since officially going to racetracks since like 2000. No. Yeah, 2003.
Really?
Yeah, and then here we are. Was it 2019?
Mm-hmm.
Took her to the racetrack. Everybody's sitting there. Oh, you want to come sit in the race car? I'm sitting there like, yo, she's gonna think this is what it's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple cars. She got to sit in multiple cars, take pictures, just kind of look at everything. And I'm sitting there going, dang, it's been 16 years and nobody's ever invited me, you know?
It's the kids, man. As soon as they see the faces just like this, and it's
Yeah,
like, hey,
the wonder.
let me give you another experience.
Yeah, the wonder, the curiosity. It's cool.
That's cool, man.
Very cool.
And you made that happen too by having that interest, you know, there and showing up.
Yeah, she enjoys it. I think she enjoys being around me.
Yeah.
My youngest kid didn't want to go, but my oldest daughter is very connected. So she likes to try the food I try. You know, we go to Italy, and we're trying different things. And my youngest daughter, she wants. Looks like they have chicken nuggets over there. I'm like,
Yep. I feel that. It's the opposite with me though. My eldest is, if it's brown and battered and fried, like she's down. No, I just posted a story yesterday of my son just eating cauliflower, just raw.
Damn.
He's a different animal.
Yeah. No, we took them to Jamaica. We were staying at this really nice resort, just amazing food. And, you know, every opportunity I had, I was eating Jamaican food because, one, I don't always prepare it at home, so can't find some of the ingredients.
And you're there.
Yeah. So I tore it up. Oh, man, it was bad. I gained like 10 pounds of just stuffed. It's just, and my other kid, pizza, hot dog, all day. It's like, come on, we get that at home.
Exactly.
You know?
You can't. You know, it's almost like I can't take you anywhere. You're not going to experience their culture.
Oh, she's getting better though.
Good.
She's gotten so much better. But we only do this when we're overseas. But when we were in Greece, I kid you not, man, they had cake for dinner one night.
Yeah.
We went to a place called something Cook, the Little Cook, Kook.
Okay.
In Athens. And I was like, wow, this place. Well, I'm like, all right, we'll go. Because each room is a different experience.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And they brought out the cake. Brother. You say, do you like a slice of cake? And you're like, yeah. I'll take a slice of cake. It's like a quarter of a cake.
Yeah, man.
Huge.
The Greeks know how to do it. Huh?
Yeah, man, it's huge. It was that. And then at the end of the night, we're like, well, I'm full. So I guess that was dinner.
That was
you know?
Man, but yeah, you're overseas. You're in a new place. It's an experience. Like, I'm all for that, man.
Yeah, we walk everywhere too.
Yeah, that too. That's the difference with you know, European countries and everywhere else is that, you know, we're here with the car is very independent. It's like, let's drive there, drive everywhere.
Yeah.
And for one, we live in Phoenix. It's hot.
Yeah.
We're walking.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, everywhere else, they eat their pastries, they eat their pasta, they eat their cake, but they're walking.
Mm-hmm.
They're walking.
We in Florence, we met this guy named Paolo. He was at the shoe store. Mm-hmm. I have a big shoe. I'm a big shoe guy, man. I love shoes.
Hell yeah.
So we had gone to the store a couple of times, and we noticed that Paolo, every evening, he'd just walk around with his hand behind his back, and he would talk to the other shop owners. And I'm like, I think Paolo is the unofficial mayor of this town, you know? Mm-hmm. But we just knew every time we went into a shop, he would always offer us, would you like a coffee?
Yeah.
Would you like sugar or cream? And he would just, and some guy would take off and come back and present. Oh man, I was like, I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
But I drank coffee in Italy.
Yeah.
Because it was good.
When in Rome.
Yeah, man, it was good. I was like, oh, it was that strong. Little cups. Yeah. That strong espresso.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, just a little
dark.
sugar.
They like it dark and sweet.
Okay. Yeah,
with a little bit of creamer on it.
Yeah.
Knocked that thing back and I was like, oh.
Especially for someone that normally doesn't do coffee.
Man, the boosters went on. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was cool.
So, why no coffee? Just in general, are you already kind of hyper as it is, or?
I mean, I always got energy.
Yeah.
I don't know where I get it from. I get a lot of energy from working out.
Yeah.
I get a lot of energy from doing something that I love. I'm doing photography. You know, I don't. Right.
Come alive.
Yeah, I just never got into it. When I was in Japan, when I was stationed in Japan, we would go out like Friday nights, man. We'd just get in the car, pack a bag, get in the car, and be like, where we going? I don't know. We're just going to drive for 3 hours, see where we end up.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Nice.
And I would just end up in different towns, different directions every time, too. And I remember the first time I got Japanese coffee. We were at this club. It was getting a little hot. It was December. I can't even remember the name of the town. Maybe it was like Fukuoka or something like that. And went outside and they have coffee. I was getting tired. That's what it was. And because we worked all day. Drive 3 hours. And I'm always a driver because I don't drink.
Yeah.
Right? So I knew, I was like, man, I need a pickup. They have the machines over there. You pay like 100 yen, which is like $1.
Yeah.
And you can pick your coffee. You know, it's comes in a can. It's sweetened with milk. You know. So I picked that up, and I just remember it was a special night. He had this hot coffee that I got from the vending machine, standing outside this club, and it's snowing. And I was like, this is nice right here.
Yeah, man.
You know?
The situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just quit coffee for 3 months.
Yeah? How's that going?
It's going totally fine, man.
Yeah?
I feel like I experienced maybe one little headache, like 2 days in. But yeah, I was like, man, I'm drinking way too much, and I don't feel like I'm getting the physical effects.
Yeah.
You know, it's more of the routine.
Oh, yeah.
And just the flavor.
You get used to it.
Yeah. You become accommodated to it. And acclimated. And so, yeah, basically I'm like, well, let me take 3 months off. Because I heard that if you take 3 months off, the next cup really hits, right?
Yeah.
And then I told myself, I was like, so abstain from alcohol. So I haven't had alcohol since then. And then I'm gonna pick it back up in July.
Why?
Coffee. What's that?
Why? Why bother? I mean, you survived, so keep going.
Yeah. Well, I do like the flavor and the ritual of coffee, and I want to see how that next cup hits.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, because I mean, I know it gets expensive, right?
It does, yeah. Well, and then I was brewing most of it here and just at work. I stopped really going to Starbucks, other coffee shops, because that does for sure. In a bind where I'm like in a rush, like I'll order one, but otherwise, it was all here. But I was drinking like two cups, maybe 3 sometimes, and then I'd get to work and then make another 2, and so I was like, this is too much, man.
Okay.
But yeah, then I rolled in my fasting too. So I've been doing 3.5 day fasts for the last 3 weeks. Well, no.
Yo, you doing that intentionally?
Yes. Yeah.
Wait, like 3.5 days, no food?
Yeah. So tonight, actually, at 8 p.m., I won't eat.
Oh man.
Till Friday.
Listen, that's rough.
Yeah. Well, this will be my 4th one now.
Okay, I've had to do it.
Yeah.
for training.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
It's been very manageable. I really slowly got into it. You know, I've been intermittent fasting for as long as I can remember. I was on 1 meal a day for a while there. And lately my eating window has really been about 4 hours anyways.
Okay.
So just salt and water. So pink Himalayan salt or Celtic salt, water. And dude, the body's resilient, man.
I know. I've gone through plenty of the training and had to, hey, here's a canteen and a knife.
Mm-hmm.
See ya.
See you.
You know, 10 days. Whoa, it's awful, man. Freaking eating cactus. Anything that runs past you is about to die.
Easy,
you
right,
know?
yeah.
So one of the groups, they killed a snake. I don't know if I could stomach that, but we got a rabbit.
Yeah. Some
so,
lean meat.
but besides that, you had to procure your own food, your own water.
Yeah. So would fasting now just kind of take you back to that? And you're like, ugh, I don't want it.
Yeah, it just makes me so like, you know, I'm getting up there. I've had two scopes already.
Yeah, that's right.
And they make you do the 24-hour fasting and drink this nasty thing. And every time I'm sitting there watching them, you know, I'll sit with my family as they eat. It doesn't really bother me, but
Yeah.
I'm always like, I can't wait until this is done. I'm gonna tear it up.
Some jerk burgers.
Yeah.
Also, do you work out? Do you lift heavy a lot?
I do.
So yeah, you do need.
I do.
You need the fuel.
Yeah.
When you're doing that.
'Cause your body, you know, it starts to just caramelize itself.
It will. Yeah. If your body fat isn't you know at a certain level, and then you're withholding nutrients, then it will start to eat the muscle.
Yeah, we had so I have specifically 2 events where I lost a ton of weight. When I went to Officer Candidate School, you're on your feet.
Yeah.
You get 7 hours of rest.
That's solid for a camp.
But the entire time you're awake, you're moving.
Oh,
and there's no walking. So you run everywhere.
Oh, shit.
Right? Sometimes with gear, sometimes without gear, but you're always running. Like, you don't get to walk. So that one, I showed up at like 197. And at the last part is what really got you, because it's called the Crucible. It's 7 days of just, you get 1 MRE, you got meals ready to eat, you got to ration that, the one over those 7 days.
Damn.
And the hardest event is at the end.
When you're at your most depleted.
Oh, they start you off at midnight, so they make sure you're sleep deprived too. So you do like a 20-mile hike to start the thing.
Damn.
And that evening meal, like the Sunday evening meal, is the last meal, full meal you get. You get a 1 MRE. You go through, we're running 18 miles a day.
Wow.
Calculated for sure, 18 miles a day. Because
Yeah,
you would do like 3 squat attacks. And I know 3, mock squat attacks. And the objective is typically uphill. Because they're mean like that.
Yeah.
But so you do a squat attack, and after you finish that squat attack, you'd have to run down 3 miles to what's called a leadership reaction course. And you get there, they're going to give you a problem, right? So you have 4 guys in your group, and each person's going to get a problem. And you got like 20 minutes to figure out a problem. At the end of 20 minutes, either pass or fail. Time's up. Get your gear, run back up. You got to run back uphill 3 miles. We do that at least 3 times a day. So that's 18 miles a day for a week. And then the last day, they do what's called like a washboard. It's just up and down hills with gear, water cans, stretcher, all your stuff, rifle, helmet. And then you get a warrior breakfast. You get steak and eggs at the end of that.
Okay.
And you're done.
All right.
You are complete. Let me tell you, man. I went home at like 172. Yeah. Everybody was like, "Hey, what happened to you? You on crack?" Like I was so skinny, and it pissed me off when people would say that. So I hit the gym hard.
Right.
and it was the wrong thing to do. Like coming from that,
Yeah.
I got cramps that would just fold me.
Ooh.
Like getting out of bed and just flops on the ground, just being like, what is happening to my legs? Went too hard.
Yeah.
You know? And just had to sit there till they woke up again. So that was the first time I had to go without food. And the second time was SEER school. That's the POW type stuff. You know, starvation, out in the desert. You had to make your own water. I mean, if it grew, it ate mustard plants. And I see mustard plants on the street now, I'd be like, ugh, right? Because I ate so much of that.
Really?
Plus the cactus bulbs. Mustard plant, the root, you never eat the flowers.
Okay.
Because critters, coyotes, and they'll go by and they'll pee on it. So, but the root, which is in the dirt, pull it out, scrape it off with your knife. Tastes like turnips.
Really?
Yeah. I ate a lot of that too.
Did you know that going in, or you found that out?
No, they taught us that. They taught us
They
that.
used to start digging stuff up, man.
I was the first person to just be like, on day one, and we must have been like 3 hours in. I'm like, I am starving. I'm gonna find out how this cactus ball tastes, and it's kind of tart,
Yeah, right.
but it's edible.
And no Tabasco on you.
No man, got nothing. It's rough.
Dude, you've had an interesting life, Kavan.
It's still going, man.
It's still going, man.
I mean, I wouldn't change it for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the experiences, the tough ones, you know, and this what helps to build me as a person.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm just gonna continue as God see fit.
Yeah.
You know, wake up every day, try to get better. Like I said, knowing at the end of the day I will have screwed something up.
Of course. Yeah. It's just nature. I mean, it's just life too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We have to come to terms with that up front, and then just mitigate the fallout. You know,
Hey,
and
man.
learn from it.
I think when you get to a mature point in your life where you realize I'm gonna screw something up today, pressure's all off.
Yeah, right. And no matter how well intentioned your actions are, it's because at the end of the day, too, people's perceptions are different. Anyways.
Yeah.
So even if you had the best intentions, their perception might be off, and then now you have a whole situation on your hands that
I am
work through.
100% happy with how things are going, and you know, I like the things that I do. I walk into any room and I'm comfortable. I'm not competing with anybody. That's such a great place to be.
Yeah, it is.
You just, this is who I am.
Yeah.
And if you don't like me being here, you don't like my presence, I'm okay with that. I don't need you to love me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to destroy anything. I'm not going to piss anybody off. I'm just going to be me. You know, I won't intentionally do those things anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
And just enjoy the moments and just leave it at that. You know?
That's beautiful, bro. Let's leave it on that.
All right.
If people want to follow you and your eye for photography, what's the best place?
So I'm on Instagram at kavan.lake.photo. You know, keep it simple. Most of my work is there. I have another dance page.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a while. It's, you know, social media thing. It's a love-hate relationship, man.
I know. I feel you.
Yeah. I need it for business.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be doing something else.
Yeah.
I'd rather be out on a shoot, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or flying an airplane. So, but yeah, that's where you can find me. You know, it takes me like a week to get back to responding to people's stuff. So I put it on there and I kind of walk away. Let it season.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sitting there waiting for, you know, do you like me? Don't you like me? Like, I like what I put out.
Yep.
You know, and it takes me forever to put stuff up too. Like I still got to put yours up there. It just takes me forever. Cause again, it's like another thing I got to do.
Yes.
That's it.
Well, and that, and your father, your husband, pilot license.
Those are the things that are more important to me,
Exactly.
you know? But in my head, I'm like, when was the last time I made a post? Oh, crap.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten a feel for your schedule on it.
Yeah.
It seems about that. It seems about like every 5 to 8 days or so.
You're right. You know, I'll be like, it's been a while, you know? All right.
Let me pop in. Oh, they're still crazy. Let me just react to these real quick and then get out.
That's really it.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And I try to automate it as much as possible. I just figured out that, not just figured out, but I was on Pinterest. And Pinterest was like, hey, do you want to link your account? I was like, yeah. Yeah, one post hit 3 places. I'm like, yeah.
It all just dropped in.
Do you want to add your last 90 days? I'm like, yes. I'm current now.
Yeah. All of a sudden you went up in like the Pinterest ranks because you did that.
Honestly, I don't think anybody pays attention. I think the people who I've worked with pay attention.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the rest of the world doesn't pay attention, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, I create stuff I love. My clients love it.
Yes.
And that's it.
That's where it's at, guys. Create stuff you love, and where everything else falls, let it be, man. If you're doing it for love, you're doing it for the right things, you'll get fulfillment out of it.
That's it. That's it.
Guys, follow Kavan and all his musings, and we're all going to wish him luck on his pilot license. You're going to get it, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for making the trip out.
Absolutely.
Much love for you, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it.
Until next time, guys. Adios.